Welcome to The Explainer. As someone from Thailand, I'm really excited to share something special with you today. It's a tradition from the Lana people up north, all about beetle fighting. Yep, you heard that right. We call it Kwang Chon. And these tiny warriors, they carry this huge cultural legacy. They're all about strength, community, and our connection to nature.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How can a tiny insect carry the soul of an entire culture? Well, to answer that, we're going to dive deep into the world of Kwang Chon. And you'll see, it's so much more than just a bug fight. It's part sport, part science, and a really deep part of our Lana heritage that's, believe it or not, still super popular today.
All right, so let's talk about this Lana Clash of Titans. It's really more than just a fight. It's a whole festival of strength and skill. This all kicks off during the rainy season, and the star of the show is the Siamese rhinoceros beetle. Locally, we just call it Kwang. These contests, they're a huge deal, a real celebration of the beetle's raw power and a highlight of our local festivals.
So, what exactly is Kwang Chon? Well, at its core, it's a traditional sport from right here in the Lana region. You have two male rhinoceros beetles wrestling on a log. And what's their motivation? A female beetle, of course. They fight until one of them either runs away or gets flipped over. The setup seems simple, right? But the rules turn this totally natural behavior into a real respected sport.
Okay, so let's get into the rules of the ring. First, you've got to pick two beetles that are about the same size, to keep it a fair fight. Then they're placed on a log and a female is introduced to get things competitive. Then the clash begins. They use those massive horns to try and lift and push each other. But here's what's really cool, how you declare a winner. It's not just about brute strength.
And here they are, the two paths to victory. You've got your straightforward knockout. One beetle flees or gets flipped. Match over. Simple. But then you have style, or as we call it, Leela. This is where it gets really interesting. It's judged by 3 referees, and the fighters earn points for skillful moves, like lifting their opponent, pinning them, or pushing them to the edge. First 1 to 3 points wins. It just shows you we respect technique just as much as pure power, kind of like in martial arts. But before any of these beetles ever see a fighting log, they go on this incredible year-long journey. It's the year of the warrior, a long road from a hidden egg to a horned champion. And what's crazy is that almost this entire transformation happens completely out of sight. That final adult stage we see, that's just the last dramatic chapter of a much, much longer story.
Just look at this timeline. It's pretty wild. Egg stage is about a month. Pupa, another month. The adult beetle you see fighting, it only lives for 2 to 3 months. But look at that larva stage, a whopping 8 months. The vast majority of its life is spent underground as this big C-shaped grub, just growing and storing up all that energy in the soil.
Yeah, let that sink in. Roughly 240 days. For 240 days, this future champion is just a larva, munching on rich soil and rotting wood. This is the most critical time, It's where it builds up all the mass, all the energy it's going to need to become that powerful gladiator. And then, after all that time underground, the adult beetle emerges for just 2 to 3 months. That's it. This short, final chapter is its moment in the sun, and it's when our tradition of Kwang Chon happens. It's this brief, really intense burst of life, focused entirely on strength and reproduction.
Now, this ancient tradition has evolved in some pretty amazing ways. Let's talk about how we've gone from the forest to the family farm. The fighting itself is an old practice, for sure, but raising these beetles, that's become a really sophisticated, modern thing. And it's creating not only stronger champions, but also some incredible new opportunities for local families.
So let's look at the difference here, then and now. Back in the day, they were all wild-caught. You were totally dependent on the season, the health of the forest, and the size and strength could be all over the place. But now, with farm-bred beetles, they're available all year round, and breeders can be selective, breeding for size, strength, even horn length. The result? Bigger, more powerful fighters. This shift to farming has been a total game changer.
And this quote from a breeder really hits the nail on the head. The most important things are good food and good lineage. It's not just luck, it's a science. You need strong parents, good genetics, and you have to provide the absolute best nutrition during that long 8-month larval stage. That's the secret sauce. That's how you get a massive 7-centimeter champion.
And check this out. There's a real economic side to all of this. A wild beetle might go for about 500 baht. A standard farmed one? Maybe double that, 1,000 baht. But a prize-winning champion? We're talking 10,000 baht or even more. That's a huge difference. For the local families who've really mastered this art, it's a real, tangible source of income.
So, why does all of this matter? What's the bigger picture? Well, Kwang Chon is way more than just a fun pastime. It's about the future of the tradition itself. It's about preserving our culture, our community, and honestly, the Beatles themselves. It's this living, breathing link to our Lana past, and it's carving out a really solid place for itself in the future.
I mean, look at the legacy here. First off, it keeps our unique Lana heritage alive and kicking. It's creating real economic opportunities for people in rural areas. And the sense of community it builds among fans and breeders, it's incredible. It even promotes ecological awareness. And of course, it's a huge draw for tourists and our local festivals. It really does support the community in so many ways.
And this might be my favorite part of the whole thing. At the end of the season, after all the fights and festivals, many of the beetles are taken back to the forest and released. They get to go reproduce and complete their life cycle. It's this beautiful act that shows how deeply connected this tradition is to the natural world. The champions go back home, making sure the wild population stays strong.
So it really makes you think, right? What traditions in your own community bring together nature, sport, and culture like this? For us, this beautiful Lana tradition is this powerful reminder that we can connect with nature in ways that are sustainable, respectful, and so culturally rich. It proves that even the smallest creatures can carry the soul of a culture. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.